the Irish night. St. Francis Central Catholic. It's at the Glass Bowl. Guys, it's been a long time. 22 straight wins for the Irish in this matchup. You got to do something to change it. Josh Linsky's come in. He's changing the culture. We've talked about it. Mm-hmm. Is this the year they break the streak, Justin?
No, I don't think it's the year that they break it, but St. Francis, as we alluded to in the agree or disagree segment,
go in the right direction.
In the right direction. The last time St. Francis won the Irish Night Trophy, 2003. So
none of these kids
decades.
were alive.
Yeah, I know.
That's what we're saying.
That's a good point. A number, the 22 in a row, that not necessarily 22 years in a row because they have played a couple times in the playoffs. So you factor that in as well. But in talking with both of these coaches earlier this week, I asked Coach Dempsey, when he took over the job, Central was in the midst of losing 11 in a row to St. Francis. So it was on the opposite side of the pendulum here. And I said, all right, what was your approach to closing that gap and flipping it and turning the tides? And he said, well, when you start out, you got to get better, obviously, but then you got to turn the rivalry game into a competition. It can't be a blowout. So you got to go from a blowout to keeping it close in a couple possessions. Then you got to battle hard, get it to a fourth quarter. Then you got to get it to overtime. Then you got to win close games. When they turned the tide, the final score was 7-6 when they broke that streak.
Fitting.
So they got to close the gap, close the gap, close the gap, close the gap. And I know this applies to any and all sports at the high school level, college level, wherever the case may be. When there is a dramatic difference in the two teams in a rivalry game, you got to take those incremental steps. And in 2019, St. Francis won 20-0 and 20-10, two times that they played regular season and postseason. So not too long ago, 2019, this was a close battle. That was under Coach Dan Chipka, who's moved on to the college ranks. But I think that this game is a matter of offensive line. I was at the game between Central Catholic and St. Mary's this past week. In St. Mary's, you look at that final score, 7-6. Oh, what's wrong with Central Catholic? No. St. Mary's has 8 D1 kids. 3 of them are going to Michigan State. The other 5 are kind of MAC-level caliber players. So they knew, Coach Dempsey and the coaching staff at Central knew that it was going to be a battle against St. Mary's, a quality competitor. But for St. Francis's offensive line, Martin Garcia, Jaden Barron, Ethan Cotterman, Dylan Galloway, Dion Banks, and Jermaine Polk. Those guys are going to have to be ready to rock and roll and challenge that defensive line for Central Catholic, because if Central gets that running game going on the opposite side of the ball with Tyler Morgan,
tough to handle.
It's going to be a tough road to hoe for St. Francis. But this game, for general high school football fans in the area who want to see good games, I'm glad that St. Francis is rising up to make this a competitive matchup.
Yeah, talk me through, what do real deal Eli Beal and the Knights have to do to get it done in the Glass Bowl on Friday?
You know what? They got to bring everything with them. You know, they got to
bring your lunch pail.
Yeah, you got to bring everything, because this Central Catholic team, like I said, is poised to win another state championship. They're very talented, but at the same time, St. Francis, they're on the up and up. This is a very young football team, I'd add. You know, they do have some pieces that are older, but more importantly, this is a team that's looking to compete for Central Catholic, in my opinion, next year to win this game. I think it's going to be tough sledding for them to win this year. Central Catholic just has too many pieces. The coaching is there. I think coaching is always underrated. They got about 6 or 7 guys on their staff that was former head coaches. When you got that, you already know that you're going to stay in games like you play against St. Mary's, a team that's got all these Power 5 kids, and you can still go out there and win a close game like that. I think for St. Francis, Eli, Bill, and the boys, limiting turnovers, and they got to find a way to play on defense. They got to be able to slow down the defense. They got to keep Central Catholic off the field, and that's something that even the best teams in this area, in the region, has had a hard time doing. Are they beatable? Absolutely. They've lost already. This game right here is going to be extremely tough for St. Francis unless they can come out here and just find a way to hit big strikes. But you can't be too gimmicky, because if you get too gimmicky and get out of who you are, then you're going to get blown out.
Make mistakes.
This game could easily go from a 50-point loss for St. Francis, or this could be a 7-point victory.
Yeah, it's going to be find a couple strikes early, really get them off of their momentum, off of their game, and then see if St. Francis can take it from there. We want to know who you think is going to take home the win on Friday. Let us know over on X on our Game of the Week poll that is pinned on our page until tomorrow at noon.